All right, guys, today we will speak about skill. So skill is the second test, right? So we have a 3 exercise to perform on the parking lot, and what is probably the most important for you, this is the easiest skill we ever had, because you have just a backing, right? Straight backing, offset, and also you have a parallel parking, right? So it never happened that this is so easy, and you have to pass all of these, exercise to, pass the skill exam. And you have in your material the score sheet. Maybe you remember in the book there is a score sheet, and it gives you all ideas, pictures. It gives you also points, because you can make pull-ups. Usually first pull-up for free. Second pull-up is some 2 points, maybe, it depends of the exercise. The third pull-up, it could be 6 points or something, and the last one, the fourth one, you fail. Also, you can make a look, so you can stop the truck, you can go around the truck, and you see if you are in what position you are and what to fix, right? Maybe you're done, maybe you don't have to do anything, but the truck is in a good position, you finish your exercise. So that's why you can have probably one look for free, second look for some points, it depends also of the exercise. And what you can do encroachment, right? So encroachment, it means that you cross the line, or maybe you can hit the cone. So if you do that, so you have a choice also, to collect like 2-4 points, but you still are in the game. So you have to remember that, to pass skill test, you shouldn't collect more than 13 points, okay? So it means that, if you collect 4 points, you pass. If you collect no points, you run 0, you pass. And believe me, it's gonna be 10 points or 8 points, it's not gonna be on your license. So your purpose is just to pass the test. So even if you have an encroachment, or maybe you have a pull-up, so you are still in the game. So you have to remember, it's not failing. And before we start, talking about exercise, first of all, I'd like to teach you, or maybe remind you, what does it mean backing? Because if you're driving forward, right? So let's say you're driving from this point and you have a gate in front of you. Do you drive like a snake? No. You just see where you are, right? Because you see, you keep your steering wheel and you see the gate. Maybe you see the cones. Maybe you see any other markers. You know where to drive. So this economy says that you have to just go straight forward, right? Don't dance. All right, don't swing if you are skillful enough to do that. So the same story. To drive backward, what do you have to do? You have to see where you drive. If you don't see where you drive, don't drive. So it is the same story, like you driving forward, you close your eyes and you drive. This is so important thing. So you have to see your position and the gate, or maybe cones, the lines where you're going to. If you don't, stop the truck, because you make a danger action. Do we agree? Mm-hmm. So, and believe me, if we have truck drivers, professional truck drivers, and they make mistake on Pulaski, on Archer, to going somewhere, right, to the, like a little space. So what they do, they don't dance, they don't try to fix the position. They just pull it up to the beginning and try again. Because dancing doesn't help. So what I'm trying to tell you one more time, because this is the key information for you, because you don't follow this. If you don't see what is behind you, don't drive. Don't drive. I come back to this topic a few times today, but first of all, let's do what do you have to see, what do you have to care about before you start backing. So we have a pivot point in the kingpin, right? So that's why, believe me, trailer always will be swinging somewhere, always. So when you even do straight backing, what do you have to do? You have to do corrections, right? But to do corrections, you have to see where you are. So what do we have in the truck? So we have 2 mirrors. And what is recommended during straight backing and close to the straight backing, you have to use flat mirrors. Why do you have to use flat mirrors? Because it gives you the correct picture. It doesn't change the distance. It doesn't change the space, and it gives you the real situation where you are in the back. So it is like the same thing. You're watching the mirror and you see like you're watching in front. You can see it, but you have to take care about to see. So what is important? That you have to, when you get into the truck and you know that you will go back, so you make sure always that your mirrors are properly adjusted, that you see, and you have to understand what you should see. So during the state test, the average lane has 12 feet wide. 12. And maybe you remember the truck size? 8. All right, so this is the first idea for skill. So you have, if you put the truck in the middle of the lane, it means that you have always 2 feet space aside. Is it clear? So you have some space. You can just go between, right, the lines. And when you get into the truck, so you have to make sure that you are in the middle. So the truck is in the middle. So you have 2 and 2 feet, right? So you have to see, have a picture in your mirrors. We have 2 mirrors over here. And what do you have to see? What does it mean properly adjusted mirrors? So on the left side and the right side, you see like a quarter of the mirror, you see side of the trailer. And then you have an empty space. If you see like in a half, so it means that maybe the tractor trailer is tilted, or you have a bad adjustment. Okay, so you have to fix it. And then what is important, what gives you the orientation where you are? Because driving forward you have a gate, right? Driving or lines, right? So what do you have? You have also lines on the ground, right? The yellow one, you remember. And at the end of the lines, usually we have a cones. All right, so if there's some problem with the visibility, so you have a cones. And you know that one cone and the second cone should be in the equal distance between the trailer, one and the second side of the trailer. This is clear, right? Good. And like I mentioned, the tractor and trailer always will be swinging. Right? Always. And driving backward, you have to make corrections. And what does it mean? That the main problem for beginners is oversteering. So you are in the big truck, so you think, oh, so that's why I have to turn hard, right? Because this is a big steering wheel, the big truck, so I have to turn. So we have a fun in turning. But like I mentioned before, driving forward, do you do that? No, you just go straight. So the same story, if you go straight backward, so the same thing. You just have a little correction. So the little correction you have, you know, is better for you. Why? Because what happens? If you turn too hard, so the trailer starts swinging, you know, fast. And then to counter steer, so you have even no time, because always it takes time, you know, before the trailer starts react. So maybe, you know, if you wait, this is important during backing. If you wait too long to counter steer, to correct the swing, so what happens? You cross the line, you encroach. So it means that the first thing, don't wait until your trailer hits the line or cross the line. Just you have to see in the mirrors that it's swinging. So that's why immediately you have to have a little encroachment, little, just a 2-3 inches, not such kind of dancing, just a little bit, just a little. And in a moment you see that the trailer will stop moving to the left, for example, and start drifting to the right. So what do you have to do? You have to switch your attention to the right mirror. Even if the left one is, you know, more friendly, because it's closer to you. So both mirrors are important. All right, both mirrors are important. So usually when we driving backward, so this is like a driving, and you have to control in exchange left and right, left and right, left and right. And what I said, so if this trailer is moving, one moment, so just, you know, start counter steer early enough. So it means just a little. Because if you wait too long, like I said, you make encroachment. If you make encroachment, so you have to pull up the truck. All right? So don't let tractor and trailer encroach in lines. Your question?
My question is, when you say turn left, or make adjustment to left or right, how are you positioning your steering wheel?
Okay, so first of all, good question, guys. Like I always mention, you play computer games, right? So the steering wheel, which is here, this is just a joystick. You don't have any rules that you watch the steering wheel and turn like a 5 to 10 or something like this, right? So you use it, just you watch where you are and you just play with your steering wheel like you play with your joystick. If you jump, like, you know, during the game, you know, not enough, so next time you push harder, right, to jump higher. So you don't even feel, you have to just gain some experience. The same story, you don't control your steering wheel. This is just a left and right. So driving is easy because you can drive straight, you can make a left turn, and you can make a right turn. That's all what you have to do. Big deal? Nothing. So the same thing when you're driving backward. You watch your mirror, this side or this side, you know, always watch where you see the trailer, right? And you see also the cone and line. So if you feel that you're moving, the trailer starts swinging, let's say to the right, right? So what do you have to do to control, to counter steer? You remember? Turn into the same direction. And the only problem, we have two problems, that you have to remember which direction. Second problem, you have to catch how hard and when to straight again. Okay, so this is just a practice. Each person can do it a little bit differently, but the purpose is to be between the lines. So that's why this is practice. Just practice. There is no like a specific rule how hard you have to turn the steering wheel. You have to use steering wheel, but you have to watch your mirrors. The same story, if you're driving straight in your car, right, passenger car, so you don't watch your steering wheel, you watch ahead. And the main problem for beginners, if you know driving passenger car for beginners, they watch very close to the hood. So that's why they are dancing and trying to go between the lines. So then when they gain some experience, they know that there's gonna be like a perspective. Look, you look over there straight, and the car is driving by itself, straight. You follow me, right? So believe me, and the same story applies to back. So that's why, guys, there is no rules. You have to just use steering wheel. Use steering wheel to keep the track if you see where you are. And what is the situation? What I'm trying also always to explain, during, driving classes. So if you make a mistake and maybe you counter steer too late, because usually at the beginning people have a, if it's swinging to the right, you turn to the right to counter steer, and if you turn, the trailer swings to the left, you counter steer to the left. So it could be like a little confusing, but if you don't practice, you don't catch it. And the thing is that if you start dancing, what does it mean start dancing, guys? Start dancing, it means that you driving like this, okay? So take a look. If you turn the truck this way, so what you can see in the left mirror? Take a look. What you can see if you jackknife like this? You can see just the back of the trailer. You don't know where you are. So how you can keep driving? This is just guessing, not the driving, right? So you can see, oh, we have a big empty parking lot, so that's why you can do it, right? But in real life, how you can driving if you lost, the position? You hit the other trailer, you hit the building. Do you follow me? So that's why this is your main idea, is that you have to have a full control under the truck all the time if you're going backward. The same story. Like I said, you're not gonna close your eyes and drive forward. So the same story, you don't have to close your eyes and drive backward. Clear? So you have to remember two things, that when you're driving backward and the trailer starts covering the left mirror, right? So you have to just make a definition. I have to straight the truck because this is tilted, right? To straight the truck, I turn to the left. So that's why the trailer straightened up. If the trailer goes to this position, to straight the truck, you turn to the right. And maybe you remember right now your offset. Instead of straightening the truck, you have to move the truck, remember, for offset. So that's why you turn to the right to move to the left.
That's what I was getting at.
Yes. So you see, this is the situation. You have to just play. If you play, you learn. Don't get nervous that something is wrong. You have to always think, why? What happens? What happens? Maybe go to the Walgreens, buy such kind of little truck for $5 and play with it, with your kids. Maybe with your wife. Maybe, with yourself. That doesn't matter. Okay, just play it. But always the main thing you have to please remember forever, for your safety, for safety other people, for buildings, for you don't have to have damages. You have to use mirrors. if you don't use mirrors because you feel comfortable, right, and you waiting until the instructor tells you, oh, little left, little right, doesn't work. You have to see and you have to play. And what is another important thing when you're driving backward, straight? So even if you make a wrong decision, let's say instead of left, you turn right, but you turn a little bit, like I said, just a little corrections, right? So it means that you still have a time to countersteer, to correct it. You are still between the lines. If you don't, if you wait too long, right? Or maybe if you do too hard turn, you lost. So the only solution is stop the truck, pull it up and try again. And what I recommend always to do during such kind of training, you know, when you start driving, doesn't matter if it's gonna be backward or something else. So when you start driving backward and the tractor is touching the line, stop the truck because you still control, pull it up and try again. And maybe it takes you half an hour to go a little bit farther. Okay, maybe again it goes another half an hour or maybe hour to go, let's say 100 feet. And after all, you catch. So because if you go too far, like I said, you start dancing, right? So you are in this position and you try to fix it, you lose your time. Okay? You lose your time. Just pull it up and try again. But always when you pull it up, you have to remember to try to understand your mistake. Why my trailer goes so far? Why? Because if you don't, so you can do it again and again and again and again, it's gonna be a problem. You have no progress. So you have to cooperate because you are the player, not instructor. Instructor just give you some advice I'm trying to give you today, but you are the, you know, the person who is gonna play guitar. Not instructor. Nobody during state tests tell you, oh, turn left or turn or start turning maybe, all right, or start counter steering. No, you have to start feeling, and believe me, if you play a little bit with a trailer, not hard, so you learn much faster to do what? To control the vehicle, because you are still between these two cones. So you can keep going. You can just have a little play until you know that you catch that, oh, to correct left swing, turn to the left, correct right swing, turn to the right. All right, this is you who should practice this. Nobody else. Nobody is gonna tell you what to do, you know, if you're not gonna practice. So this is a straight backing, and during state test, maybe you remember, because we have this score sheet, you have 2 pull-ups in straight backing. So take a look. Even if you go, let's say, over 100 feet backward, right, during state test, and your trailer is close to hit the, you know, line, to have an encroachment, so you can avoid this encroachment because by stopping before you encroach and pull up. So you have 0 points. So you have 2 pull-ups right for free. So believe me, the straight backing is so easy to pass, but you have to just follow these rules. This is like a game. You can collect points, you can lose points, right? Or just, you know, get no points at all. But like I said, 13 is the key, so you are always in the game even if you collect 2 points or 3 points. All right, so question, right?
During the test, like we pull over, we stop and move forward, and then again, they cut the points or something?
Well, during state test, like I said, you have 2 pull-ups for 0 points.
Oh.
So you can pull it up before you encroach the line, and you have no points. You are clean. So it's, believe me, never been so easy. Before we have no pull-ups. But what is important also?
On the pull-up sheet, it says 1 pull-up is 0.
Yes.
It's for free. 2 pull-ups is 1 point.
Oh, so just 1 point, so you know.
Okay, and 3 pull-ups is 2 points.
Yeah.
And 4 pull-ups is a
Failure, right? So that's why, like, guys, please, let's continue. You know, so like I said, you have this, you know, I don't remember fully, but you know, like a 0, 1 point. 1 point is nothing if you can collect 13, right? So it's still, you can make 2 pull-ups, even 3 pull-ups, and you're still in the game.
And during the test, they give the time, like during this period you can move forward or something, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
No.
They don't give the
This is the, another idea, and probably the what does it mean pull-up? What does it mean pull-up? You know, I come back in a moment to pull-ups again, but what does it mean pull-up? You make a pull-up not only because you are close to encroachment. You make a pull-up, why? Because you have to again position the truck in the best position for you. So it means that you are again in the straight line between 2 lines. Okay, so you can very easy start your exercise. So pull up, because some people say, oh, I can pull up, let's say 10 feet or 20 feet. No, you have a limit on the top. You can pull up to the beginning. This is your choice, no more, but to the top. But what is important, that your purpose, you have to sometimes like swing a little truck and then pull it up, let's say another 20 feet to make sure that you have this picture in both mirrors. So you have again easy straight backing. This is pull up. Not just to avoid a problem. This is positioning the truck. And always during your classes, what I recommend also to do is, if you make a pull-up during one exercise, let's say straight backing, always pull up the same way. So that's why you finish your pull-up if you're sure that this is this picture. Okay? If you are tilted, this pull-up doesn't make sense. Because when you start driving, immediately you go away of the lane. So you see, this is like an amendment, few basic amendments you have to follow. That's all. So pull-up is not just a pull-up, because some people don't understand what the pull-up means. Pull-up, it means that this is positioning, so it makes easy for you to start again this exercise.
No, it's 2 pull-ups for like the whole thing, or just?
No, just for each exercise. Yes, you can see in the score sheet. You have a score sheet and you have a situation. I'm still over there. Good, it's working. Okay. All right. So guys, so this is what you have to before you start your driving on the parking lot. It's, you have to know this sheet. You have to just know what is the game. What do we have rules, right? What kind of rules we have? If you don't know the rules, so how you can play? So it's so easy. On the one page you have all information. On the second page also you have the rules how to behave about the beeping the horn, seat belts and other stuff. But not now. We're gonna keep going for backing. So I hope the straight backing right now I did explain. So to conclude, remember, this is the correct beginning point. If you pull up again, you have to reach this point to start backing again. And the next thing, you have to just be always between 2 lanes, 2 cones. Even if you have a free pull-up, right? Doesn't matter. But you know, to control the truck, you have to do what? You have to control in the left flat mirror and right flat mirror your position. And the most important thing, if the trailer escapes too far any side, so it means that you see in your mirror just the side of the trailer, right? Just side of the trailer. So believe me, you don't see the back of the trailer, you don't see the lines, you don't see the cones, because for example it will be like this, right? So how you can fix it? Only way, pull up. So don't wait until the instructor tells you stop and pull it up. Just do by yourself, because you do understand right now what's going on. And you're not gonna be frustrated, because you play, you have a fun. You're not gonna get mad because something is wrong. Just play. All right, so the second exercise. Second exercise is offset, right? So it's gonna be first during your test. So, but you know, this is a little bit more difficult than straight braking, right? So what do you have to do during offset? This is like another perfect space here, so but you know the idea that you have to just put the truck to the end, pull up. So what I recommend, again, you to do, just the same story, be between lines. Don't put the truck too close to the left line. Why? Because you have more time, more space if you are in the middle. More time to make a correct decision. So, what do we have to do during this exercise? We have to start turning to the left, right, the trailer, then go back between these two cones. Here you see the one cone and the second cone. Maybe I put the line in a moment. Then you have to pull it up to straight the truck, and then to finish the exercise you have to make a straight braking until you pass this line. So I make a line in a moment. Okay? And at this situation, this is the end. So we have, again, it looks complicated, but it is not. This is the line here. So you have to put the truck here behind this line, right? So don't go too far, right? But just you have to make it like a 2-3 feet, and you can just stop the truck. If you have a problem, you can get out, take a look. If you are in the correct position, then come back, put your seat belts, and then beep the horn. If you beep the horn, it means you finish your exercise. If you beep the horn before you put your seat belt, you fail. So first of all, lug your seat belt and then beep the horn. Yes, because you know, during skill test you have to be all the time in the seat belt. This is new, you know, but it applies. So just this is the first page of the skill material which is in front of you. I explain everything over there. So let's go to this exercise, because this exercise we mean offset and parallel parking. It's quite close, quite close. So take a look here. So when you put the truck, so maybe you can even, you know what some kind notes you can make. So don't go close to the line, just be in the middle. You have to be at least like a 1.5 feet from the line. And the only such thing which you know you have to do at the beginning before you start driving, what we recommend you to do, you can just turn to the right halfway. So it means 180 degrees. And what happens at this moment, what kind of consequences? That when you start driving, all right, you make a decision to start, the trailer starts moving to the left. It's fine? So this is, and it means that all the time, if you start your, offset, and if you position the track in the middle, and you turn this 180, so it means that always the trailer will go the same way. So you understand what is the important positioning? So if you position too close to the left, it will be totally different. So that's why you have to care to position always in the middle. So know that but the same way, even if you are a little bit to the left, but the same way. So that's why you can expect that the trailer will move the same way, and tractor either. So take a look. You start driving. So the trailer is moving this way. So which mirror you have to use? Only left, right? Only left. Because if your trailer is in this position, right? So if you take a look in the right mirror, so what do you see? Empty space, nothing. So this is a next thing you have to understand, that if you turn left, the same story, you turn left driving forward, right? So you watch the left mirror, right? You turn right, you watch the right mirror. The same story here. You turn the trailer left. So use the left mirror. Flat mirror. And if you, it could be different right now between each of you, the situation that if you turn left, the trailer goes this way, so then you have to straight the track, right? You remember? So you have to counter steer. So this is your decision now, of course, after practicing this exercise, when to start counter steer. So one guy can start counter steer if he is very close to the line. Second guy can counter steer when he's crossing the line, right? Because we have not just one exactly way to do that. Because now when you start counter steer, so you can do what? You can counter steer fast and you can counter steer slow, right? Different speed. So what does it mean? That the trailer and tractor will straighten it up faster or slower. And this is your task, not instructor. There is no rules. You have to see all the time, watch your left mirror and counter steer and see what's going on. And when the trailer is going to be, and tractor in close to the straight, so what do you have to do? You have to change your attention to the right mirror, because then you see where you are in the right mirror, because the next exercise will be right curve, not left. Left we finish. Now right. So that's why, take a look. You straight the track. Okay? So from this position, it goes to this position. So before it's straight, you have to change your attention to the right mirror. And then when you straight, so you have to see these wheels and this cone in almost like one straight line. It could be a little bit here, not here. Here. Is it correct? So that's why you know where you are. Because you know the point you're gonna go to. If you turn this way, you see nothing. You don't know where you are, right? If you go too deep, what happens? Is no chance to go between the cones. So again, what is your task? This is like a first part of this exercise. You go left and straight the track. So you do it well only if final position will be pointing to this cone or close to the cone, right? So you know where you are, and you can just almost straight go into this cone, just maybe 2-3 feet. So this is, like I said, training. You have two things to do. So first of all, you have to make a decision when to start counter steering, and then the second, how fast you have to counter steer. Because if you do it too fast, right, what happens? The trailer goes too far. If you do it too slow, it's gonna go too deep. So that's why this is, you see, like a computer game again. You have to catch, I'm too deep, or maybe I'm too far. So that's why next time I try to fix. I have to adjust the decision when I start counter steering until, and how fast I have to do that. So you're playing with yourself. You're playing the game. So that's why after a few attempts, maybe 10 attempts, maybe 20, maybe 30, doesn't matter. But if you do understand is that you have to watch your mirrors, you have to control your lines, you have to control your cone, right? So it means that you know what to do, and you have a progress. You have a progress. So the second step, like I said, if you are here, right? So you see where you are. So your next task is to go close to the cone, like a 1 foot backward, and you have to pass the back of the trailer should pass this line, whole back, not just one side. That this side also should pass. So if you do that, so then you can pull up and straight the track. If you do like this, so there's just one side, cross the line, so you have to pull up all the way here. This is the problem. So then it's not a problem for experienced guy, because you have a pull-up. You don't have to pull up to the beginning. You have this pull-up. So during this pull-up, again, you do what? You can go a little bit to the left and then to the right, watching all the time right mirror, until you go so far that until you see again this cone and this wheels. You understand? It is not 5 feet pull-up. It might be 50. So this pull-up serves to position again the truck to go in the correct spot. So you see again the back of your trailer and this cone. So maybe I can show you one more time. So if you are in the wrong position, right? So then you can pull up so far, and you can just watching the right mirror until you see again these two points, your wheels, and this cone in the one spot. So it means that you make it easy again to go in the correct position. Okay, this is pull-up. And you remember, you have again 2 pull-ups. So use these pull-ups. Don't just straight the track. So during this pull-up, watch your right mirror. This is additional rule. Don't look at the left one, because left doesn't give you the idea where to go to. Right mirror at this moment during pull-up gives you the idea where is your trailer and where is this cone. You see, simple amendment. Pull-up is so important. It's for nothing, no points, just pull up, position, and then you will see this is like a straight backing again. Right? You can just go make a straight backing. But what I recommend you to do also, if you see right now and control the right mirror, so because this is like a few different ways, but if you have to control all the time in real life because you have to control where you are, so let's say this is like a straight, right? So before you enter, you know, to this line, so make a little curve. You see, that's why the tractor will have a little curve and you will have a better position. Don't wait until you cross this line. Okay? And then you have to have a hard turning. But if you hard turn, so you see again by one moment just the side of the trailer. So maybe, you know, it helps some people, but to have a full control, so like I said, make it just a little curve, and then before you enter, just turn a little bit to make trailer goes along. You agree? So then, like I said, you don't lose in your side, you know, the trailer from the right flat mirror. And then you remember you have to pull it up. So pull, and this is another situation that some people try to pull it up to the end. Okay, you can do it, no problem. But if you are in the good position here, and then you straighten it up and pull it up, and you will see in the mirrors that now you are in a good position to start your straight backing. You don't have to go to the end. But you have to be sure that this is really straight, tractor and trailer, and then you can just make a straight backing to this point. And remember, we have lines here. So the whole track to the end should be between the lines. Don't just stop here and your trailer will be in such kind of jackknife. Don't do that. You have to be straight again. And like I said, if you are not sure what is the situation, just stop the truck, apply the brakes, go around. Then when you come back, seat belts. If you need, you can adjust, right, the position, and then beep the horn. So this is the second exercise. And if you see, again, if the trailer, take a look, if you try to make a first attempt here, and your trailer is too far here, right, you don't see where you are, you don't see this cone. So then you can make a pull up and not to the beginning position, make a like a angle, you know, position until you see again this and this. You can fix this by pulling up. The same story, if it is a little bit too far here, then you have to make a long pull up watching the right mirror. And then you can stop only if you see again in the straight line the cone and trailer. So yes.
So during that pull up, and what if you cross that line?
The right one?
Yeah.
Don't worry, you can do it.
You're good, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When offset.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no problem, no points. You can do it. So that's why it's much easier for you to make like an angle, this pull up, instead of trying to go to the beginning. Right? Because this is even impossible from this position to go back clearly in the same beginning position, right? Because there's not enough space. So that's why this pull up serves, you know, to positioning the truck again to see back of the trailer and this cone. So you have again like a almost straight backing. So it's easy for you.
And when you're going back, like you say, you gotta get both back wheels past.
Not the wheels, just a back bumper. You don't have to. It would be a good idea if you can go like a one shot by wheels also inside, but it needs more practice. But so that's why it is like a little two swings. That's all. You are in one, all professionals can do that. But you have to pass, your bumper of the trailer should pass, this line. You see? You don't have to go by wheels, but the bumper should pass.
But if the left wheel is on the other side where the cone is at. On that
So
side.
cross the line.
Yeah.
Is there a encroachment? You have to go this way.
No, I'm talking about once you already gotten close enough to where you're
Okay.
watching your right mirror and you're encroaching, you already passed your back bumper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if that left wheel is on the line?
So you know what? One more time. You don't have to go so far backward.
Okay.
You can just be like you said, 1 foot. I'm sorry, from here, right?
Okay.
And then you know that because you have a more space on the left, because you have a 3 feet on the left. So even if you go a little bit more, so you're still not crossing this line.
Okay.
Okay? So you have to just remember the numbers, 12 and 8, right? This is 8, this is 12. So that's why we try to reach like a 1 foot instead of 2 or 3. Because if you do 2 or 3, usually you encroach this line. Is it clear? Good. So let's go to the, maybe for some of you most difficult, but this is very similar to offset. It is just a little bit tighter, so you have less space than before, but we have to, again, 2 swings, left and right, the same story. So you can do it even the same way. You see, if you control, how you can control? You have to use mirrors. If you don't use the mirrors, you don't control. That's all what I'm trying to tell you. If you start covering your mirrors by trailer, you lost. You lost. So now we finish the second, the offset in this position. Correct? Now we have to pull it up and go into the like a box. This is box. And this box in real life has 15 feet space in front of the track if you will be at the end here. So that's why you have a little, less maneuvering space. You have just 15 ahead of the track or behind, it doesn't matter. So if the track is 65, so the box is 80. Okay? And what is important that right now we treat this box as a wall. So if you hit this side, like you hit the second trailer or maybe the wall of the building. So we have to avoid this. Of course we have encroachment, so if you encroach, you have to go away from the box. You can't pull it up. You have to go away and then go back. So we have like a few beginning. So the next idea, the same thing like before you start your offset, you have to position the trailer and tractor not at the line. Don't start too close to this line. It's absolutely wrong. You have no space. You can really easy hit this cone. You can hit by the trailer or you can hit by the tractor. So that's why position the truck again at least 1.5, maybe 2 feet from the line. This is important thing. So first idea. Second idea is that don't position, when you pull it up, don't stop right after the line. It's absolutely wrong. So you have to pull it up, not to the end. It's up to you. You can do, because you have to maybe straight the track, but straight here already. So we have like a few options. You can go like a 10 feet over this point. You can go a little bit farther. This is also your decision. And then it depends how far you are. You can, before you start backing, for example, turn again to 180, but you have to make sure that you're not gonna hit the cone. You have to catch again your position, your situation, that when and how hard you have to turn the steering wheel to start moving the trailer this way. And believe me, not too hard, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But if you go too hard, the trailer goes this way, and believe me, you have no way here. You hit this cone. Or maybe then when you try start dancing, you hit this one. So the idea is that when you start backing, again, you do what? You control left mirror. That's it. The same thing. And then when you start backing, this is your decision when to start counter steering. You see, this is the same story. You have to do the same thing. You have to start counter steering. And you have to catch, like in offset, you have to straight the track and catch the moment that if the trailer and tractor will be in this position. You remember we have a little spot here, right? So that's why this trailer wheels, you are straight here, straight. This trailer wheels will be like a 2-3 feet before in front of this spot. Because if it's gonna be like this, you don't see, so you don't know what to do, and you are in the wrong situation. So the only solution is pull up. Again, you have a free pull up, you do over here. So that's why the same story. If the trailer is too deep, don't let it cross. If it's too narrow, so just then stop the truck and pull it up. But pull up watching all the time right mirror. Right. So that's why when you just, even you can make a little left to make the curve not so sharp, and then straight it up. And if you see again the trailer and this spot, so you can do like a straight backing, and the same thing. You don't have to make again wait until you cross the line, this one, because it is a little bit dangerous, because you have to have a little hard turning right now. So the same thing, start before you enter, start a little curve. So that's why you can smoothly go into. If it's still something wrong, you can pull up again and adjust the position and do it again. So then you have to go and try to reach the back of this exercise, you know, the box, so which is here, right, let's say, and don't cross, don't encroach. So that's why even if the trailer will be a little bit tilted, you know, crooked, then you can make a hard turn to the left and pull up, but you shouldn't cross this line in front of you, because this is like a building. Okay, so then if you stop the truck, so the truck is not necessarily should be in a real straight line to pass the test. It could be a little tilted, but if this is inside the box, so you're good. So if you have a problem, you feel that this is not, you know, really straight, you don't see everything in your mirrors, so you can park the truck, get out, look around, and if you see that any part of the trailer on tractor doesn't cross the lines, so it means that you pass. You come back, your seat belts, and beep the horn, right? This is the moment you finish your exercise. So then, if you do that, you remember, don't forget, you have to pull it up again, all the way, and now you do straight backing. And believe me, because some people are confused, straight backing, you're not gonna finish at this line. You have to finish at the last one. All right, this is the end of your test. And then you pass. And like I mentioned at the beginning, so your backing, straight backing, can have 2 pull-ups still. If you didn't collect, too many points before, you are still pass. So you see, we have a 3 exercise, and if you do follow what I'm trying to tell you today, you control all the time your track in the flat mirrors, you will be perfect. In the future, when you gain some experience, also you will start using the convex, but it means you have to gain some experience in backing. We use right now the convex mirrors when we're driving on the streets, because you remember, if you make a turn, so you can't see your back of the trailer in the flat mirror. You can see you have 2 convex on each side, so that's why you can still see where you are, right? But during this skill test, to make it easy for you, use flat. And don't try to make like a hard turns, one or the second, because this hard turns, it might work once, maybe 2 times, but the 3rd time you fail. And the problem is that if you use this mirror, so you know if you fail, because you see it, right? You have a picture in front of you. So guys, let me just summarize this. Major mistake what people do, they don't adjust mirrors. Sometimes if you do your backing, you have to be very close to the dashboard to see left and right mirror. Right is a little bit more difficult, right? It's obvious. Second thing, mirror adjustment. And maybe what is one of the most important thing, guys, is pull-up. Like I said, pull-up is not just you escape from the encroachment. Pull-up is again positioning the track. So you have to take care about pull-ups. Doesn't matter if you pull up for straight backing or if you pull up for any angle backing. Pull-up is a key. But when you pull up for offset and you pull up for parallel, so when you pull up, use your right mirror. So, and finish your pull-up if you again see the back of the trailer and the correct con or maybe spot. So, and one more time, please remind me, I'm gonna remind you that if you lose from the mirror the back of the trailer side, so just stop and pull up, stop and pull up, and believe me, it saves you a lot of time. You will learn faster. You will be ready not after 20 classes, but you will be ready after 10 classes. And each time if you do that, you have to do what? After each mistake, you have to think why I did this mistake, how to fix this mistake. What mistakes you can do? Oversteering, first. Too late or too fast counter steering, okay? And again, if you don't use your mirrors, you shouldn't drive backward. You can drive only forward. You remember, maybe you can drive triple trailers because they drive always forward. Okay, so any questions? Yes.
So for parallel, when you like pull up, when you turn the wheel 180 degrees,
Yes.
and if you pass that left line, is that an automatic fail, or do you get like a point or two?
So which line? This one?
Yes.
Yes, you shouldn't pass. This is a question because some people try to be too close to this line before they start parallel parking. So if you cross this line, it could be failing. So that's why what I recommend you to do, just be like a 1.5, maybe 2 feet, like the offset, and then your turning will be just, it will be smooth. This is like a snake, guys, like a snake, two similar, curves. That's all. Not dancing, like I said, go on Saturday night if you want to dance, right? Not in the track. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
During the test, like we come outside and we check all
The position, right?
Yeah. So when we come back in the tractor, so any point they detect or something?
No, you have 2 looks. One look is for free. Maybe second look is some point, 1 point or 2 points. Okay, so it depends of the exercise. But anyway, what is important when you come back? You have to seat belts. If you finish, right? Because you can, guys, you can look outside not only when you finish. You can, during your test, you can stop the truck and go and check your position. It's not necessary to just at the end, right? Okay, so guys, any more questions, or everything is right now clear? So I hope again that it helps, and you have to just maybe repeat a few times if there is a problem. And like I said, oversteering, pull up if you lose your sight from the mirror, okay, and keep the points, because this is the game. You can collect some points and you still pass, and the amount of the points, they're not gonna be on your license. Just you're gonna be passing or failing. That's all. Yes.
And also, it'll be automatically fail if you don't put your seatbelt back on.
Yes.
It's an automatically fail.
Yes.
Some students will forget, so you might want to take notes with that.
Yes.
You gotta put the seatbelt back on, because some students get out, then they get back in. At first they have the seatbelt on, then they get back, they forget to put the seatbelt on. No matter what you did, it's an automatically fail.
So you see, remember in your
Don't blow the horn.
manual, you have a first page of the skill. So all the 7 or 8 rules are right now in front. So this is just one page to learn, to memorize instead of the pictures. And also what I recommend you to do at the end of this material, we have a shifting, because we didn't do today shifting. But anyway, if you have a shifting problems, right? So you are grinding or something like this. So just read the 6 pages and study, the table which says about up and down shifting. So you will understand what you did wrong and how to fix by yourself. Or yes, one more.
When you're coming out of the truck, you're never supposed to come out of the truck front, where you're always supposed to back out, right?
So always, guys, you know what? This is important. We have 3 points. This is the rule. If you get out of the truck and you get in the truck, so always you have to be secured by 3 points. The steps, and we have 3 points of contact, right? So this is, yes.
I have a video I'll show on that too.
All right, so thank you for today, and
Thank you.
Okay, but good luck with that.
just the red button.